Jack W. Peters, speaker, author, television personality, explosives. 3, 2, 1, oh my God! Racing, treasure hunting, teaching critical business skills from his adventures. Welcome, Jack.
Today we've got a very exciting and relevant topic. We're going to talk about attitude and how to select and hire the right person. Now think back for me at a time when you maybe fell in love for the first time, or you got hired for that job you always wanted. Your attitude was probably cranked up to 11. And those old enough to remember the Spinal Tap movie will catch that reference. But the question is, does our attitude stay at 11? Well, no. There's always triggers or circumstances that can make it change, like the weather. I help others do training to develop high-performance, high-functioning teams, not dysfunctional work groups, but the best of the best. And winning teams do not happen by accident. They are created over time by hand selecting every and each individual based upon their skill set and what they can contribute to the greater good of the organization. Now, unless you're going to hire someone for brain surgery or something maybe equally as complicated, I always tend to focus more upon attitude than I do talent. The reason why is if you have someone with a good attitude, they're probably trainable, and they're also most likely eager to learn new things. How do you find candidates that have a positive attitude and that are trainable, and then actually most importantly, will they fit into the organization's culture? Now, some might use Myers-Briggs test or something like that to determine someone's personality. Let's be honest, we're not changing anyone's personality. But what we can do is we can affect their attitude. And with excellent leadership, we can maintain a high level of someone with a positive attitude. I subscribe to the business philosophy known as Appreciative Inquiry, which is just another way of saying learning through asking questions. I believe by asking questions and carefully listening for the answers, we can learn what we need to learn to both improve ourselves, others, as well as teams and organizations. Let's get to the first slide, which simply asks them, why do they want to work here? You'll notice on the slide there's 5 responses that they could respond to, or they could come up with their own. Number 1 is, I'm excited to start my career in my life's calling. That goes down to number 5 that says, I'm here because my parents made me get a job, with 3 different variations in the middle between those 2 extremes. Ask them, honestly, where are you at now, and where would you like to be? The next slide is a confidence survey, and confidence is important because people do whatever they think they can do, honestly. Number 1 is, I can do anything I focus on. That goes down to number 7, I can't do anything with my depression, with 5 different variations in between. Now again, they can respond to one of the options on the screen, or they can have their own. But either way, we want to ask them again, where are you at now, and where would you like to be? The next slide is the supervision survey. And this is important because if you're going to hire someone, you kind of want to have an indication of how much supervision they may need. Number 1 is, point me in the right direction and I'm good to go. That drops all the way down to number 7 that says, I'm not going to do anything unless I'm forced, with 5 different options in the middle. They can respond to one of the predetermined numbers, or they can come up with their own response. But again, where are you at now and where do you want to be? Emotional response survey is the next slide. And this is important because I want an indication of how someone's going to respond to some sort of crisis or negative stimulus, right? We all have times during the day where we met with some sort of crisis or problem. And I think it's important to determine how someone might respond to that. The first one is poker face. Carefully consider everything before a response. Wouldn't it be nice if everybody could do that, right? That goes down to number 7. Slightest setback, they've got to escape and go on a 3-day bender or something. With, again, 5 different options in between. Where are you at now and where do you want to be? Now, the last slide is important, maybe the most important, because it gives us an indication on how well someone might play with others. This is the collaboration versus competition slide, and much of this was created by a colleague, John Chen. Let's have a look. Are you more collaborative or competitive? Level 1, complete trust, communication, and collaboration. Everyone is motivated to work together in a way that's resourceful, innovative, and effective. Level 2, works as a team but with little or no collaboration with other teams or divisions within the company. Level 3 is purely competitive, not really going to help you because I'm only in it for myself. What's in it for me, right? Number 4 is the lowest level, which is drama, distrust, jealousy, fear, hatred, conflict, leading to fighting. Again, where do you see yourself now as an individual? I'd also ask the team this. As a team, where are you at now and where would you like to be? And then chart out a plan to get them there. Now, this may seem like a lot of work, and let's be honest, most companies or organizations probably won't put someone through a series of questions like this. But my feeling is for the 20 minutes it takes to do it, you sure get a lot of useful information. I would use this system if I was hiring a fry cook for a fast food restaurant or a professional athlete for a sports league. Why? Well, regardless of the type of job it is, leadership and team should all have the same motivation, and that is to work with the absolute best people possible. We have all seen the damage that a bad person can do to an organization. It's like having a wrecking ball in the office. And the truth is that good people have options. They don't need to stick around with negativity and toxicity. They can go, somewhere else. But bad people don't necessarily have those options, so they'll stick around. And that only makes the situation worse, which also makes it more difficult to recruit better people coming in. But I'm an optimist, and I just feel like it's really important to select the best people you can and then recruit your team members to do the same once they're established. Bring new people in through them on what I like is like an intern basis where you have someone sponsor a new employee and that sponsor is responsible for training them and helping ensure their success. You get a group of people working together and they're all on the same page, following the same mission. Man, that's where magic happens. That's really exciting to see, because really what we're talking about here is, what's the outcome we're looking for from all this work? We want to build up the capacity of each individual and each team to do the best they can. We want individuals to become a leader of leaders. Here's a picture of me doing training with Special Forces in India. When the truck doesn't start, you get out and push. You want each individual to also be thinking in their mind, what can I do as a leader? That increases the capacity of each individual as well as the team, and they can even spin off to manage new teams. I hope all this information was helpful. As always, I'd love to hear your feedback and even success stories that maybe I can feature in a future video.
Looking for a speaker for your next event or a trainer for your company? Consider Jack. Engaging and inspiring audiences by teaching critical business skills from his real adventures. JackWPeters.com